everyone. Welcome back to SAT Math Question of the Day. Here's our question of the day. It's number 15. Please try it, pause the video, come back, and we'll do it. The cost of renting a bicycle is $8 for the first hour plus $4 for each additional hour. Which of the following functions gives the cost C of H in dollars of renting a bicycle for 8 hours? Okay, fine. I mean, it's this one. Because this is a classic y equals mx plus b problem where you have an initial amount. Wait, it's not?
Check.
Wait.
Check that it works.
Oh, no.
Or it doesn't work.
Oh, my God. Is it a trick? Oh. Wait, for the first... Oh, it's one of these. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it one of these where it's $8 for the first initial hour for each hours, which means that the first which means that C of H is equal to 8 plus 4H minus 1. Oh, wow. So it's 8 plus 4H minus 1 minus 4. So that would be 4 plus 4H. Oh.
Okay. How do you? Okay. Let's give advice. Let's give advice. Let's approach this problem in a much better way.
Okay, let's do it in a much better way.
Well, mx plus b. What does that mean?
Okay, so it's certainly not.
Add an hour. The cost goes up by 4.
Right. Okay.
So it has to be one of these two.
Of course.
And then you check. The first hour means you rent it for H equals 1.
Right.
Which of these makes C of 1 be equal to 8?
D.
This one or
D.
this one?
D.
It's this one.
D.
So you get try FC of 1, and for C you get 12, and for D you get 8.
Right.
And so that's the look at this math. There's too much algebra. Stupid.
Right.
Stupid to do all that work.
That's true. It is stupid to do all that work. You're right. You are right. You hit the nail on this one. So, yeah, as part of our questions to ask, we really should, I'd like to start asking the question, is guess and check the right way to do the problem? Is guess and check a reasonably good way to do the problem?
Well, this is not guess and check. This is select and select again.
Okay, fine. Select and select again. Right. Select and select again.
Select and then subselect. Right.
So we'll ask the 3 questions in a second. But yes, this problem is what's called I call it the offset problem. We have to offset the time by 1 hour, and it really comes down to the let statement. What is
well, you don't have to offset anything if you just read the words and connect it with the formula.
No, but in general, this problem.
But you're right. If you can consider it to be an offset from measuring time from 0.
Right.
But it's a failure of the mathematical model. Suppose you rent a bicycle for 0 hours. Right? That doesn't make sense. Right? Because if you're going to rent a bicycle for 0 hours, then you won't rent it at all and your cost will be 0.
So neither of these equations.
So the formula is invalid for 0.
The formula is invalid for zeros.
Yeah.
Oh, right, but they cover themselves.
So it does not specify anything about how much the cost is if you don't rent it at all.
Right.
And so they're not. So C of 0 doesn't make any sense. Z should never be evaluated for 0. And indeed, they say H is restricted to be a positive integer, not 0.
Right.
And so this is not an MX plus B problem.
You're right. It's not.
An MX plus B problem, you have an x-axis that goes from negative infinity to plus infinity. And everything, mx plus b, y, and it makes sense of mx plus b where you pick x anywhere, and b is the is the y-intercept, and m is the slope. Says nothing about what the constraint on x is.
Right.
Huh? Okay.
Right. So it's not. Yeah, I went too fast.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
Really
so I think the issue is rather than sticking with recipes you learn in school, I think it's mx plus b. You read the question and connect it with how you do the math.
Right. Yes.
Which is multiplication and addition.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
And that's the fastest way of handling the problem. This is a kind of problem. This is a kind of problem where it's so simple. It's so simple that you do not gain a benefit of by applying techniques of great generality.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
In other words, this is a problem for solution by common sense, as opposed to a complicated machine that works that works for difficult tasks that are too difficult to just do by common sense.
The thing that's unusual about this problem is that if you were going to rent something, it's normally given to you as $8 for the first hour, and then you don't usually write the equation this way. You don't normally think of it this way.
You don't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you see,
you're normal when they show rentals. They typically so people they want to make it easier to rent, so they don't bother the customers with equations. Have you ever seen equations?
Of course not.
You go in a parking lot, New York City, and there's an equation. They don't give you an equation.
Of course not.
They give you a table.
Yeah.
And then they will say at the bottom of the table for say 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours.
Right.
And then they'll say for each additional hour beyond 6 is an extra $18.
Right.
Up to 24 hours.
Right. Yeah, they tell you how to calculate it rather than give an equation. Yeah. Okay.
And for the first 6 hours, you don't even calculate. You look at the table and then you read off the price.
So let's go through our questions. So let's do the main idea of this question last. So first of all, does a calculator help? This actually is from an older SAT. The new SATs that calculator are all calculator questions. This is actually from a non-calculator part of an old SAT, so the calculator was not even allowed in this question. Is this question different from one? How would you do this question different from in school? In school, they may not give you the equation. They may not give you a multiple choice. They may please write the equation. At which point, people like me would make the same mistake. I guess in that point, you would have to write the way I did it. If you had to write the equation from scratch, then you would have to think of it like the way this was thought of.
That would make sense. Yeah. Each addition, but then you pay attention to what the problem says.
Right. Right. And you have to
Additional
pay.
hour. And of course, H minus 1 is the number of additional hours
Right.
after the first.
Right. Notice there is a disconnect, right? Not a disconnect, but you have to be careful. There's each additional hours here, but the let statement, the variable is number of total hours. So
Yeah,
that's the sort of like the
yeah,
disconnect that
yeah,
you really got to be careful about.
yeah.
Now the concepts. What the concept here? Well, first of all, the concept is just really read the question carefully. And being able to translate English into math. I mean, it's not the concept is more than just writing it this way, because the better way to do this problem is not to actually write it from scratch, but to look at the choices.
Yeah.
So what would you say the main idea? What are they trying to really test to see if you know how to do in this question?
Well, I think I have to go back to what you said and say the main idea is the broad idea, that's abbreviated or it can be labeled by the mx plus b formula.
What? I don't understand what you said.
You could say that the main idea is what mx plus b would remind you of. So you can say this is an mx plus b problem. Or mx. So the idea is what do you call it? Main idea is formula with a constant plus constant rate.
No, I think you got to go broader. The main idea is being able to read a word problem and either write or choose the appropriate equation that models it.
Okay.
That's
modeling. That's even more broad.
That's the more broad idea. Being able to read a word problem and being able to write an equation that models it.
So the main idea is to model a word problem with a formula.
Right, and that's the main idea. And one of the really big takeaways here is check.
Check once.
After you do your model, you check your model.
Once.
And that will cover a lot of mistakes. And that's what I should have done. Check your model. That's another huge big takeaway from the from what the essence of this problem also is. It's not just modeling, but checking. And that goes along with modeling. Modeling and checking go together. So, I think that's it, right?
Right.
We covered everything.
Done.
We're done. So,
great. Excellent.
I'm Joel. I have a PhD. Now we'll introduce ourselves. This is Seth. He has a PhD in math from MIT. He's been teaching computer science in SUNY Albany for a lot of years. He's now retired. I'm his brother, Joel. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering. And we go through SAT questions and offer different suggestions on how to approach them and different views on how to do them. And we try to dig deep down, and we ask these 4 questions, which we won't go through because we already went through them. And we try to meet every day. So, in terms of preparing for the SAT, do as many questions as you can and focus on the ones you're weak on and do extra practice on those questions. Khan Academy sorts the questions by problem type, so you can go there and pick a few questions, pick the topics you're weaker on, study those, and do as many practice questions as you can. Particularly the SAT offers a lot of practice, even on the digital side. Okay, I guess that's it, right? Please give us comments on our videos. We really appreciate them. Please dislike them. Any comments are welcome. And if you have any SAT math questions, please email them to us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com. Tomorrow's Thursday, which means Throwback Thursday, so we go back to test questions from maybe 20, 25 years ago and offer and show how the SAT has changed a bit since then. Okay, everyone, have a great day.